Hey, you guys, I just kind of wanted to check in with you guys since I shared my Ancestry DNA results. I was excited about my Ancestry DNA results. I'm still excited about them. However, I've come to the conclusion that getting an autosomal DNA test is like just opening the door. It's only like really just scratching the surface, especially for someone like myself who's very, very ethnically mixed. My mother is mixed, Native American, and her father is white. My grandma, my maternal grandma, she's Native American. My mom's dad, he's white from Scotland, okay? My dad is Puerto Rican, his folks both Puerto Rican. But Puerto Ricans are ethnically mixed, okay? So by the time my brothers and me were all born, we're just super duper mixed. I don't even know. Like, we are mixed beyond belief. And many of you guys saw that in my um, autosomal DNA test results from Ancestry. Um, my biggest proportion of anything was 28%, and that was for Scandinavia, which was totally shocking because there is nobody that I know of that is like Scandinavian. I know that my mother's father's people came from Scotland. I know that my mother's mother's people are Native American. There may be German or Irish in my Native American. Ancestry did put me at West European, which includes Germany, but they only put me at about 6%. So, I mean, my grandmother, my Native American grandmother, she definitely could have a relative down the line who was German or Irish or one of each or both, or I don't know. So I'm just saying, for those of y'all who saw my autosomal DNA test, they were very mixed. There were small amounts from here and there. Now, I later learned that Ancestry DNA actually has what is called a Scandinavian problem. And I learned that they actually overcalculate people's Scandinavian. And so that may account for why I have so much Scandinavian. Um, what else did I want to mention? Like I said, this is just like opening a door. And I guess that Ancestry DNA used to offer the mitochondrial DNA and the Y-DNA tests that you can only do, if your father's still alive, then you if you're a girl, you do not have your father's Y DNA. So if your brother's alive, your dad's alive, whatever, that's how you're going to get your dad's Y DNA. And for us girls, even sons, mothers pass mitochondrial DNA to both of their children. So you don't necessarily have to test your mom or your grandmom, her mom, to get that. Um, anyway, point is, Ancestry used to offer those tests. They no longer offer those tests. And I guess when Ancestry introduced autosomal testing, they used to include your mitochondrial DNA with that test. They no longer do that. So I would have to take a whole nother test to find my mitochondrial DNA. Um, but I am going to have my grandmother, my Native American grandmother, tested, so I may not have to redo it. I might just have her get the mitochondrial DNA test. Family Tree DNA offers that. They're very expensive at Family Tree DNA. Oh my gosh. But I'm definitely going to have both my mom's mom tested and my father tested, and I do want to know my dad's Y DNA. A mitochondrial DNA test will go back 52 generations down your mother's maternal lineage. That is amazing. So really, autosomal testing, it's great. It's just still developing though. They are still, breaking ground in that area. But at the same time, mitochondrial will go so deep. I mean, way deep. As far as I know, autosomal can only be relied upon, like, for sure, to the sixth generation back. So it's relatively close to you. It's not far, 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 far back there. And what goes back that far is the mitochondrial DNA, 52 generations. That's like 1,300 years. And then for the Y DNA, for your father's paternal line, if I'm not mistaken, that goes back 25 generations. So autosomal DNA testing is just opening the door. It's just barely scratching the surface. So I'm totally intrigued, and I really want to explore my mother's maternal lineage and my father's paternal lineage. That is really cool, and it can actually show you a migration pattern for both sides. Now, paternal, the Y-DNA testing, that can really help you trace your last name, that your maiden name, and go far back with that. But I really would wonder how accurate that could be with a person like me. My maternal last name, excuse me, is one of the most common, if not the most common Latino last name in the world. It's Lopez, okay? So how far I can go with Lopez? Wow, I don't know. And how confusing is that going to be? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's Lopez everywhere. So anyway, I guess I'm just rambling on and on, but I don't know. This stuff is all very interesting. GedMatch. Let's talk about GedMatch. Okay, GedMatch is very overwhelming when you first go there. For a person like me, a layman who's not very familiar with science and all that lingo and numbers and blah, 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 OMG. I mean, I was so overwhelmed and like, what does all this mean when I went there? But if you just Google stuff and read as much as you can, because they include blogs and like letters, like links to those things that will help you to understand. And let me tell you, when you first read some of those, you still gonna be like, what? That don't make no sense to me. That's because you and I don't have, most of us don't have a foundation in this type of science. We don't have that basic foundation, so it takes a little bit of time for us to catch on. But after continuously, just reading and Googling stuff, and I'm starting to get it. And I was overwhelmed and a bit intimidated by GedMatch at first, but I'm going to have to make another video to show you the vast differences between my Ancestry DNA results and my GedMatch results. There are similarities, however, there are great differences. There are just so many great differences that just make you go, what? So I'll definitely share those with you people out there in YouTube who are interested in this kind of thing. I'll actually make that video and upload it after I'm done with this one. But also at GedMatch, they'll like predict your eye color. Let me tell you, I did that test and I was like, oh my gosh, because it was like 90% my eye looking back at me. It was so creepy. So I called my husband over and then I ran the test again and I showed him and he was like, they're going to clone you now. Like that was his response, because it was almost like my eye looking back at me. They were so like, the accuracy was really there. So that was exciting to know that. And then also like it will guess like your mixes. So it will give you what they find in you. Like we find Spanish, well, Iberian Peninsula, Italian, American Indian, Mesoamerican. That's like from Guatemala, the natives of like Central America. They found in my DNA South American, Native American. So I'm wondering if those came through from my dad. He's Puerto Rican. They have, Native American. So are they like, is that Mesoamerican and South American Indian coming through from my daddy? That's very interesting. So I'm really excited to get him tested. But anyway, yeah, when my husband saw that when they guesstimated my eye color, he was like, oh my gosh, they're going to clone you, which kind of creeped me out. I'm like, oh my God, I know I should have never even went and got my damn DNA done, because what do they do with your DNA afterwards? Like last year, I had come across some information online about Ancestry. Some scientists that work for Ancestry, they were holding this meeting like in Ontario, Canada, and they were going to be discussing cloning. So um, don't think that just because you click no, I don't want to participate in XYZ. Don't think that them scientists ain't using your stuff for their studies. Trust me, they are. I mean, we just freely gave it to them, and then we paid them to take our DNA and do all this creepy stuff to it. So if you don't think they're doing creepy stuff with our DNA, it's probably far, far, far from reality, because I'm sure they are. So after my husband brought that up, that's what I started to think, like, oh my gosh, that's what scientists do. They study things. I mean, they dig up graves. This is true. They dig up ancient peoples and test their DNA. That's how they can tell you and I, like, what type of ancient haplogroups and all that kind of thing. That's where they're going with that, and that's how they get that DNA from ancient burial grounds. So, if you don't want scientists doing creepy things with your DNA, maybe getting a DNA test isn't for you. However, I've already done it, and then I freely went and gave it to GedMatch, so yikes. Anyway, I'm going to make another video kind of sharing my GedMatch results with y'all. So I will see y'all shortly. Thanks for watching, guys. Ciao.